going further in the integration between what you're seeing and what's happening behind the scenes in the model, what we'll do in this lesson is add the killing of the blocks. So our block prefabs will know what to do when they're killed. We're going to create our own custom method for killing. What will happen exactly? The texture of them will change. They'll turn white, and sometime later they'll actually disappear and be killed. When you call the clear chains method on your board, so if you go to board.js, clear chains, instead of besides setting them to 0 in the model, we're also gonna be able to kill these elements as well, so you'll see how they die. Okay, so there's 3 things we need to do. The first one will occur inside of block.js, and it will consist on writing our own, or on overriding the kill method. So when a block is said to be killed, we need to load the texture called dead block, which is the white candy. We're also gonna set the column and the row to null, and there's an animation time which is set as 200 milliseconds. That's defined in game.js animation time. So in half of the animation time, whatever that animation time is, our block will actually be killed for real. So this .game.time.event.add, this will happen in this .state.animation time divided by 2. So in half of that time, the following will take place. We will actually call this for real. Phaser.sprite kill this for real. .prototype.kill.call this. Let's see if this is working. So I'm gonna access one of these blocks. I already have this from before, and see how I killed the first one. And I need to click on the game for things to keep on updating. Remember that when the game is not on the main focus, the game is not updating, it's paused. I can do the same thing. Let's get one that's in position 20. It's just this one, and it's dead now. So I can now kill them from this part. And what else do I need? I need to be able to kill them now from the board. So whenever I clear the chains on the board, I have to be able to kill it. So after I set the corresponding cell to 0, now I kill the block object. I need to be able to grab a block from its coordinates, which is something I can't do at the moment. So I will need a method that will be called getBlock from column and row, and I need to be able to pass in the column and the row. So in this case, I'm just going to pass in block, and what I'll do with that object is that I'm going to kill it. So this is the last and the third piece of the puzzle. We need this method. That will be an auxiliary method for us to use. So this method will receive a position in terms of column and row, and it will go through all of the existing blocks, and it will return it if it finds it. So we'll call this found block. This .blocks for each alive. It'll only go through the alive ones. Function block, and pass in the context as well. Now function block, if block.row equals position.row. I'm using triple sign because they might be 0, so I really want to compare it with the exact number, and if there's 0, I want to compare it with 0. So if it's something like false, I don't want it to give us a true. So if they match, then found block becomes this founded block. And we in a for each loop you can't break. So we can't break. We'll just keep on going through the whole loop, and then we return found block. So let's see if this is working. I need to be able to access the board. So we have a few chains here. So what I need to do is access the board, match 3.GameState.board.clear chains, and see how they were all killed. So I can now, let's try a different one. I can now kill all the chains, and it actually kills the corresponding blocks. So that's great. I'm making progress here. To summarize what we've done, we started working in block.js and added our own custom killing thing with an animation, sort of an animation, and you change the texture, and then after a few seconds it disappears. You could obviously replace it by any kind of thing that you want. Then also I'm connecting the game with the board in a manner where chains are destroyed, and now this also worries about killing the visuals too. So what we'll be doing next, we'll be adding more of these kinds of methods that communicate the two things. So there are a few things that need to be done. We need the dropping functionality, dropping from the grid, dropping from this reserve grid. Also, we need to be able to swap, to check for chains, or if when we swap, if there's no chains, we need to reverse the swap. So you swap, there's nothing, and the swap goes back.